Hey guys, hope you're doing well tonight. We are now in level 2 of lockdown here in South Africa. So who knows how things are going, but hopefully you all are keeping safe, keeping that social distancing going and all of that. We've been off the radar for 2 weeks, but we're back. How's it going, Alec?
Good.
Yep. As you can see, we actually decided to come in with a bang. So we have actually brought the entire band of Forsaking Fate, East London's most badass and probably only thrash metal trio. So yeah, how's it going, Grant? How's it going, Rory? Welcome.
Good, man. How's it going?
Yeah. Well, I guess kind of just delving right in, I guess the first question I'll ask, it's something that we ask all of our guests. How's the lockdown been treating you guys up there? I mean, first guests that we've had from East London, so how things been going up there?
Well, it's, now that it's back to level 2, it's almost pretty much business as usual. I mean, initially, it was that 30 days, it was quite hectic, like everyone had to stay off. But yeah, it's just adapting to the regulations every once in a while. But otherwise, now that the bars and stuff are open, yeah, it's probably gonna get wild again.
Very quickly. Who knows how many people are actually dealing with a hangover as we speak. So our condolences to everybody of the rough weekend that was no doubt had.
Yeah.
I guess kind of segueing from what I said earlier, this is the first time that the whole band has been together, I guess, since Winterfest. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, wait. They replaced you with a pumpkin, didn't they, Alec? Yeah, I remember that. It was hard to tell apart, really. But but yeah, as far as that goes, that was quite an elaborate design as far as the camera work, the editing, the lighting. And I mean, even the venue that you guys used for the show, I mean, do you guys want to actually, now that the dust has settled and you guys have uploaded the vid to YouTube and all for people to check, what was all the pre-planning and prep that had to go into pulling this off? Because it was one of the most elaborate live sets that came from the Winterfest stream that weekend.
Thanks, man. Grant, yeah, all the credit has to go to Grant.
Yeah, man. So yeah, for sure. Thanks, Rory. But us being our first Winterfest and all, we wanted to do something, as best that we could from our side. So we just gave it a little bit of thought. I've actually got a venue up here on the farm that I stay on, so we just made use of that, and we just brought in some, guys that we knew would pretty much nail the camera work and the lighting. Yeah, and we just sort of planned it along those lines. So yeah.
You guys pulled it off again. Like, I remember going into the whole show, Patrick was saying how he wanted to bring bands and artists in that would really push the envelope, and I'm pretty sure you guys delivered on all fronts there. So kudos on that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Obviously, Alec was missing from that because unfortunately he's based in Joburg, and travels during that time was pretty complicated. But you guys pretty much welcomed him to the band as a live bassist now in the past few recent months. But I'm kind of curious, Grant and Rory, the genesis of Forsaken Fate. Where did the idea come up with? Because obviously, like we said, East London, very small metal scene, especially when it comes to thrash metal. So where did the idea come from?
Well, myself and Grant have been playing together for forever, hey? We played in a couple of bands before. We actually won a SAMA, I think it was 2016, for like Best New Act or something like that, amidst the ashes. So we've been working together before. Myself and Grant have a different passion for doing music. We've always we like the Metallica kids, from the Stunning Cunts day, Cunning Stunt days. So yeah, you know, sorry, Alex. But yeah, it's that sort of attitude, you know. We enjoy playing live, and we're just fortunate enough for it to have gotten some traction and people enjoy what we've put out, which we really appreciate. And I'm sure Grant has also got something to say about that too.
Yeah, no, I mean, Rory pretty much summed it up. We've been jamming, you know, pretty much him and I spearheading, you know, the previous projects. Yeah, it kind of just evolved into this, you know, members have come and gone. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why we ended up, you know, utilizing Alec as well, is because, you know, he's reliable. So, yeah.
Yeah, a rarity with a lot of band members nowadays, especially bassists. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not discerning any of the bassists out there. I love you guys, but
Yeah, I tell you what, Lyle, we haven't really taken full advantage of Alec yet. I mean, the guy is like a musical mountain, bro. I promise you now. So we actually in the process of getting some new stuff going. So yeah, bro, I'm really excited. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. But yeah, at least we don't need to be right in front of each other to write some really cool music. So yeah, there's some cool music coming out, some new content. Yeah, so people must keep their eyes peeled there. And also, as soon as this like lockdown is down, you know, and and the live shows come back, yeah, we're going to be blazing trails. I can't wait.
Well, I guess it kind of brings me to the next idea. While we were actually talking about the EP that you guys did, the self-titled Forsaking Fate EP, I was actually listening to the last track on the EP, The Souls of Demolition. What a crunker that is. But yeah, I mean, the End of Existence lyric video that you guys put out was kind of the first impression that people got of the flaming buzzard effect. Maybe one of you guys or both of you guys could elaborate on who came up with the graphic idea around the artwork, because it really does suit the tone of the music.
Cool. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
basically, I mean, we had pretty much most of the songs written, you know, so we had more or less of the lyrical theme. So, you know, we tried to tie it in with that. And then basically it was just the sum of all of us, you know, at the time, and the band, just stewing on it, discussing it, options. What do you like? What do you like? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? You know, and yeah, it kind of just steamrolled into what it is. Yeah.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
Grant being extremely modest, because, you know, for us to have like started playing out in Joburg and made like a very big noise about this band, you know, Grant doesn't just do things like per chance, you know, sort of thing. So there was a greater plan at play, and yeah, you know, the songs are just a reflection of myself and him and the sort of bands that we listen to, you know. And yeah, like I say, that is as real as it can get, sort of, from us. And it was such an enjoyable process. But really, the credit goes to Grant. He organized the artwork. He got the artist going. Look here, we bounced the theme around from each other backwards and forwards. And also, yeah, it's not a buzzard, it's a raven. And yeah, so it was just, yeah, like Grant says, is a summation of our minds.
Looks good. One of the greatest DTG prints I have in my collection. But yeah, I mean, the themology definitely worked there, which I guess kind of segues to the next question that I have for you, Grant. In terms of lyrics, especially in terms of your vocals, compared to a lot of thrash metal, you kind of have a little bit more of a mid-guttural type range, something like an Alexi Leo of Children of Bodom or Peter Tangrian of Hypocrisy. What were your musical interests like growing up? Like you guys said, you guys were original thrash kids, but I'm curious as to what your influences were in terms of vocals.
I mean, growing up, I mean, it was literally like the Metallicas, the Big Four, you know, pretty much, and all the, you know, the other thrash metal bands as well. got into like death metal. I think I had a little bit of a Cannibal Corpse, Dayside, 6 Feet Under. What is the other one? Suffocation phase, you know. But yeah, like it's literally been evolving over the years. So you know, in terms of metal, I pretty much listen to everything far and wide, you know. So yeah, I think I just maybe picked a little bit of summing up along the way through all the phases I've gone through, you know. So
well, I guess kind of let's just put that to the side for now. Kind of getting into something a little bit more nitty gritty and something that a lot of bands don't really talk about. But you guys are actually one of the few bands that are represented by an actual PR agency in the form of Demographic Media and PR. In your guys' opinion, I mean, obviously trying to compete on an international level, how important and you know, essential has a PR agency like Devo been to the band in helping getting the word out for you guys in such a short space of time?
You know, the thing is, you know, it's a lot of the times it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And for us, like obviously now being from East London, I don't know, initially Grant had sort of found Alec through Draconem Medium, and we were a different setup back then. We had different members. So we did get up to Joburg, but you know, like we want to do this thing for real. You know what I mean? We want to do tours. We want to experience like the real doing of playing the live shows and touring, and you know, playing music and trying to make money playing music, basically trying to make a living of it. But it comes down to, you know, Dave knows things and Dave can do things that a lot of us are limited in, you know, and you know, each of us have separate jobs going on, you know, while we're trying to do this band thing. So having someone to handle your PR and someone that's, you know, it's also like having like an agent that's got your best interests at heart. So you can like trust the dude to do what's best, you know. And to be honest with you, Dave is the type of manager, because he's like he is our slash like manager, PR, like he's like everything in one, you know. And yeah, he pushes us. He's like on our back. He's like, dudes, you know, get ready for this. This is coming. So yeah, and you know the thing is, let's be really honest. Every big band has a management structure.
Yeah, it's straightforward. I mean, Alec and I have spoken countless times, probably at least once every episode, about how important it is to have an agency or somebody that has your best interests at heart, you know, whether it be a solo performing artist or an entire band, or whether or not it's a single EP release or the brand of the band itself. It's very important because, I mean, obviously we've had this discussion countless times, and not a lot of labels or agencies that really do promote African metal, you know, especially even South African metal. So we're very lucky to have at least one or two agencies in this country that actually are into that. So it's actually been quite interesting, the whole evolution of bands getting represented in international blogs and getting reviews from external like crowds. I saw you guys had a couple of reviews in other UK and Croatian mags, and it's just mental. That's why you guys do it, to get that reach out there, to let people in the world know, and you know, get the word out.
Brew, he got us into Metal Hammer. He got our EP, our first shot out the gate, into Metal Hammer, bro. And we got like a 5 out of 7, dude. And then they still went on to compare us to Van Halen and Pantera. Dude, I almost like, you know, I swear, almost like a bro. Really, that's like, yeah, that's us. You know, there's our cover. Like, you know, I don't know what issue it is. We still have to get a physical issue, like a physical copy. Being East London, you know, you wouldn't believe it. It's actually a harbour town. But anyway, you know, so yeah, but yeah, dude, that's the level of the game that Dave plays. You know, there's no joking around. You know, he really takes you to. Well, he gets you to the door. You know, if you're not willing to go through it, you're just gonna waste your time. But trust me, bro. What you see through the crack of the door, you're gonna go through running if this is what you want to do.
Just takes the drive and focus, which I guess kind of leads to the next question. Because you, Rory, are also similar to Alec. You're a little bit of a musical savant in that you jump and are involved in a lot of other bands. And I feel like we'd be hard-pressed not to at least mention Chaos Doctrine just a little bit in this chat. Obviously, you guys just recently put out your EP, just a short, like 15-minute mega punch 4-track release called The Chaos Council. Before that, you guys had the Father Grigori lyric video that came out last year. But any updates or any info that you want to actually drop on Chaos Doctrine? Because obviously this came out during lockdown. Probably the band hasn't had a lot of chance to really communicate much. So how are things in the Chaos Doctrine camp?
Well, you know, for me, I'm lucky enough just to be the drummer on this one. So I'm getting all of the input from Alec and from Dr. D. So yeah, it's just a matter of me practicing the songs while I'm here, making sure that when I do go back up to Joburg and eventually when we start playing shows that everything's like nailed down and locked in. But as well, just a shout out to Gemini 80 Studios. It's you know, they've got Alec Surridge. You know, he plays guitar for Chaos. He plays guitar for the Drift as well. And he is like a sound engineer per excellence. So yeah, if anybody's listening to this and you guys are thinking of recording your band, like live style, proper live drums, obviously live guitar, the real spiel, get into contact with Dr. D or Chaos Doctrine on Facebook, Gemini 80 Studios on Facebook as well. And also give Surridge a like or hit him up on Facebook or something if you guys are interested. But yeah, I promise you now, when it comes to those guys, it's no games, you know. You get the music, learn the song. Look at that, they were a little bit like more patient with me because obviously being from East London and like, gosh, you know, they learn the songs in a rush and you know, off you go. You're gonna play AJ's bar every one time, you know. So I was like, yo. But anyway, it works out in the end, and yeah, like I say, they're serious dudes. They don't play no games. But guys, keep your eyes peeled. Chaos Doctrine is still busy, and yeah, that machine never stops or never seems to stop. Actually,
definitely.
But I can't talk too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm hoping we can actually get the Doctor and Alex in up for a future episode so they can delve a little bit deeper into the machine that is that, because obviously it's an intense release, which is actually why I wanted to bring it up, because from a drumming perspective, it was very different from the hard go at it thrash style that Forsaking Fate had. So I was just wondering how the balance was for you actually as a drummer having to do that.
You know, the benefit of something like that now is when we practice, you know, I practice with the full setup. So like as if we were playing live. So I've got the samples, I've got the click and everything in my ear, and I've, you know, like I say, they don't mess around. There's like this massive pad, bro, that I can like control everything with. Look, yeah, obviously, you know, I'm still like trying to get my head around this. But yeah, you know, it's the benefit of something like that now of them having the studio is that everything is preset up. So if I do like a good take and, you know, they're busy recording the, they're recording the session or the practice session or whatever the case is, you know, and you manage to like pump out a golden track just by chance, they catch it, you know what I mean? So it's lacquer. It's nice, you know.
A little bit different from a creative standpoint when it comes to writing with, for example, like Forsaken Fate, which obviously is a lot more, it's almost like in my opinion, it's like a jam band that became like a proper studio band. Because when I've seen your performances, the live recordings, it always seems like you pretty much are on key with what it would be in the studio. So it's as close to what a studio feel would be, but in a live setting. As a band, I mean, maybe you can actually answer this, Grant, like how important are jam sessions when it comes to the actual performance? We've spoken to guys like Derek of Devil Speak, who's also very pro analog, and the band needs to sound like the recording, and the recording must sound like the band live, etc., etc. So how important is it to you guys, especially when it comes to like the Spawn Fest or like one of those types of events and stuff? Is there a lot of pre-planning that goes into it?
I mean, yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, live jamming, obviously, pre-show is fundamental. You know, I mean, Rory and I, as you know, we've been jamming live for years, so we kind of understand how each other sort of works in a live scenario. So I think in that sense, it enables us to be fairly tight, you know, whenever we jam together. So I mean, obviously, as you know the songs and you play them more often, they generally you're more familiar with them. So I mean, normally if we just get in a good 2 weeks prior and hammer it out, we're generally okay. You know, as I say, because the songs are fairly fresh to us. So yeah, obviously when we get new stuff, we may have to spend a little bit more time until they get to the stage that these are now, you know. So, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I guess that kind of brings us to the next question, because we actually are unfortunately nearing the end of this chat. What are the plans for Forsaking Fate? I mean, obviously we got a little bit of a taster at the Winterfest, but again, 35 minutes ain't that 1 hour long set. So you guys obviously do have a couple of other tunes that you've been working on. So what does the future hold post-lockdown for the band? You think we'll finally see you here in Cape Town?
Well, yes, that was definitely the plan. So yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely aiming. As I say, like prior to lockdown, that's basically where our next destination was. After KZN had put it in Polo. So yeah, definitely will be on the cards if and when we are able to head that way.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, again, if anybody is interested in actually hooking up some badass merch like what I just showed over here, they have some local merch available via pinsandknuckles.co.za, and we also have some Killer Forsaken Fate merch available on the Draconem Media Teesprings, which will include the URL, including all the other Bandcamps links where you can get their album. I'm looking at it now. $5, guys. $5. It's not even a beer for you and your mate. Go support. Go support. Anyway, guys, it's been so awesome having you here tonight. Alec, thanks for pulling this off. It's good to see the whole band here. You know, this has been quite a little bit of a moment. And again, keep churning out the beats, you know, ripping out the sounds and, you know, morphing all those badass beats on your side, the double bass. And hopefully we can actually see you guys here in Cape Town touring after all this lockdown havoc is over. So, you know, thanks very much, guys.
Cool.
Thanks so much, Lyle, and thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, guys. Next week, Alec and me, we can actually let you know we're going to continue with this thrash metal trend, and we are going to be bringing in local Cape Town reprobates Hulver. We'll have Dolph and Dan here next week to talk about their thoughts on everything. It should be quite interesting. But yeah, guys, again, keep supporting local metal. Hope you guys have an awesome week ahead, and we will check you guys soon.